So my goal is to write for 90 hours in November, but I don't know what project I'm going to be working on. She told me that she's throwing a party, not something you should throw a party for usually. Immediately when she said it, I was like, I'm putting that in the book. Thank God. It has changed me. I made my decision, everyone. Let me tell you about it. Hello, I'm Jay. I'm a literary fiction writer. I am a woman. It's almost November. It is October 26th right now. I talk about it in my last video, but I'm kind of participating in NaNoWriMo. But of course, the real NaNoWriMo is dead. Yeah, I talk about in my last video, I'm doing a time goal instead of a word count goal. So my goal is to write for 90 hours in November, but I don't know what project I'm going to be working on. So in this vlog, I will be figuring that out for you. So I have two options of things that I could work on. Neither one of them are the actual NaNoWriMo, like it doesn't really fall under the OG NaNoWriMo 50,000 words in a month kind of thing. It would be very fun to write a whole book in a month, but for me, I think the book would be terrible. Yeah, so I'm not doing that, but I have two other options, and they are as follows. Number one is that I would keep drafting Grace, which is my literary fiction book, my new literary fiction book that I'm writing. It's about a special ed substitute teacher, and I'll talk more about it later in this video, but I love it so much. I've been writing it for about a month now. Discovery drafting Grace. So I have this huge brainstorm document that has passages written out that will probably go in the book. But then the actual document, like the Google Doc, the official Google Doc, has about 6,000 words. I'm very early on in the process, but I have a lot of ideas for it, and it's really good. Yeah, so that's Grace. So potentially in November, I could just keep drafting Grace and kind of just see how far I can get in the draft. But it wouldn't be like, oh, I'm trying to finish the draft thing. But that would be very riveting content. But like I said, my writing will not suffer. So option one, I would keep drafting. It would be a first draft, which is kind of more classic NaNoWriMo. But my other option would be to start revising the shark book, which if you've seen other videos on my channel, mostly the shark book is what I have been working on. It's another literary fiction book. It's about shark divers in the Florida Keys, and I love this book. It's so special to me. I love it so much. And I recently finished the first draft. I finished it a month ago. So then I let it sit. I finished it on September 27th, and it's October 26th. So it's been over a month. So legally, I could pick it up if I want to. It's in a drawer right over there. And I could pick it up, and I could read it, and I could get started. I would probably just wait until November 1st just to like be festive about it. So in November, I could pick up that draft and then read through it and start the revision plan. I'm kind of hesitant to do that because this book is so important to me, and I feel so hopeful about it in terms of publishing, and I'm just nervous to read it and have my heart broken and be like, oh my God, it's terrible. Not that I think it's terrible. Like, I'm not delusional. I know I'm a good writer, so I know that it's not terrible, but I'm just worried it's not going to be as solid as I think. And also I want to make some pretty significant changes. I already kind of know that. So I don't know how much of the first draft I can even use. And I just don't want to get in there and be like, and just start spiraling and feeling like a bad writer, because right now I feel great about it, and the longer I don't read it, the longer I can feel great about it. And also I'm kind of hesitant to get back into it because I think about the characters in this book every day, like every day. Like every song I hear, not every song, but a lot of the songs that I hear on the radio, like I'll put some that are really very shark book. Yeah, I'll put those on the screen, but I think about them all the time. I have constant ideas for the book, and so I don't know if that means, oh, I should go work on it because I have this zest for the story, or if I'm still too close to the story and I should take a step back. I don't know. So I'm kind of avoiding it. Like, yeah. But that would be option two. Because there's a chance, and I'll talk more about this later, but there's a chance that I won't have, I feel like, enough stamina. Maybe not stamina. Stamina is not the right word. I'll kind of explain my dilemma with wanting to keep writing Grace a little bit later when I talk about how I'm feeling about the book. But I feel like I'm not sure if I'll be able to just draft Grace for a whole nother month. I've already been drafting it for a month, like I said. I don't know if I have another month in me just because of the way I'm writing it. So in this vlog, my goal, my technique to make a decision is that I want to just keep drafting Grace and kind of just feel the water and kind of figure out if I think I should keep pushing through with it or if it's time to put it away and go back to the shark book. By the end of this video, I will make a decision. But also, I'm open to kind of choosing both and maybe just writing Grace halfway through November and then like switching. I don't know, because I just want to write for 90 hours, but not necessarily 90 hours in the same project. But basically this vlog, I'm just trying to decide if I should just kind of wrap up working on Grace this week and then pivot to the shark book, or if I should keep going with Grace. Okay, I'm gonna go write and I will see you later. Mwah. I just finished a writing session and I'm gonna tell you about it. I'm writing this book very out of order, so anything that's calling me, I go to it. So today, this scene, where would this scene be? This is in Act 2. There's this core relationship in the book, and they mostly just work together, but this is the first time they see each other outside of work. And I love the idea for this scene. And the way I got the idea, let me tell you something, because I felt like a stalker, but I also felt like a method actor in a way. I was the writing equivalent of a method actor. Okay, so here's what happened. Okay, so I'm a substitute teacher for special ed, like I don't think I said that here, that I am. I recently got hired at a different district than the one I was working at for a while because it pays more money. And so I don't go to the old district, but at the old district, there was this one class that really heavily inspired my book. There was kind of one kid who first inspired it, and I saw, actually the secretary at that school, even though I don't really work there anymore, she called me and she was like, hey, can you come do this class? And I was like, yes, I would love to, because I wanted to go in there and kind of sniff around and get some book ideas, you know? Before I got there, I was thinking, I knew I wanted the main, like the core relationship to go hang out outside of work, but I didn't know what I wanted them to do. And then one of the paras, she was telling me her life is crazy and she has some crazy drama. And last time I was there, she told me like the drama was just starting and she was telling me about it and I was like, oh my God. And then I got there this last time, it was just last week that I went and I was asking her about it. She was telling me, and then she told me that she's throwing a party for it. And I won't say what it is, but it's like not something you should throw a party for usually. And immediately when she said it, I was like, yes, I'm putting that in the book. Thank God. So the scene I've been working on is that event, and my characters go to that event. And it's so good, and I love the scene. And I love the banter between the characters. I don't usually write romantic, oh, it's romantic, spoiler. I don't usually write romantic relationships, so I wasn't sure if I could do the banter very well, but I think it's great, and I think they have great chemistry, and you know, it's a party, so there's alcohol, and they're kind of a little more open than they would be otherwise. And yeah, I just feel really good about it. Like, I feel great about it. But I will say, the reason, kind of what I hinted at earlier, the reason I'm not sure if I can write this whole thing in November is that I don't really know what's going on in the book. I mean, I do. I know major points, but I'm discovery drafting it. And I don't think I will ever be a full discovery drafter because it's very stressful. I know key things, and that's kind of what I'm writing right now, just key scenes that I know I want to happen, but I'll get stuck and I don't know something. I don't want to make a decision in the moment that just serves the scene because I'm like, oh, maybe that won't be good for the rest of the book. But since I haven't plotted the rest of the book, I don't know. And so I was thinking about it, and I feel like what I'm doing, it is like I'm drafting, like what I was drafting just now. It's like final draft prose. It's really good. It's amazing. I am drafting certain sections, but I feel like as a whole, what I'm really more so doing is outlining, kind of, or what they call a zero draft. I get basically like, okay, here's what I think partially. Like, I want to go in there and just draft. In my mind, I was a little delusional a couple videos ago. I was like, I'm just going to draft it. And I thought I was going to draft it linearly, but then I just can't do that because I like to draft cleanly, but I don't know enough to draft cleanly. There's so many scenes that I have most of it figured out, but then I don't know one important thing. And if I want to figure out that one important thing, I have to figure out a lot of other important things. So basically I would have to stop and slow down and really outline. And so I feel like right now I like what I'm doing. I like being able to just go into a scene, like think of a scene and go in and write it. But I don't think I'm going to be able to get very far in the draft doing it like this without stopping and outlining, like actually outlining for a couple weeks or something. So that is kind of slowing me down, and I'm thinking as I run out of scenes that I can write without outlining, I'm thinking it might be good to like pause and just say, okay, I got a lot figured out, I drafted some of it, and now I can pause and go on the shark book. Nothing's certain, but I feel like I'm kind of leaning toward that. We'll see if I change my mind by the end of this vlog, but that's how I'm feeling. All right. Look what my mom just got me. Hey guys, I recently read a book. It has changed me. I'm different now. Alphabetical Diaries by Sheila Heti. This book, if you have not heard of it, it is, I guess it's a nonfiction. She had like decades of journal entries that she had written, and she put them in this software and put them in alphabetical order. And then she had like 500,000 words of that. And then she cut it down into this book. And it's so, like, I heard the concept of it and I was like, okay, like what? I was reading it. I was on, section C out of Z. And I was like, oh my God, this is the best thing I've ever read. I don't know something happened to me when I read this book. Aside from just the prose being really good, let me read you part of it. I'm going to talk about writing. One sec, just wait. I think it's so cool because it's alphabetical, obviously, so it's not chronological. So you'll get the information in an interesting sequence. Like, for example, Grandma died. Grandma has been sick. Grandma is ailing still. Grandma said that sex is the glue. Grandma said, and she knew from experience, never leave your home. Great literature, the only thing on earth that doesn't scare me. Greener pastures, read every day. Grow my brain and my knowledge. Grow out bangs. Grow up. Yeah, the prose is beautiful. But aside from that, this is an amalgamation, if you will, of years and years of her journaling. So we kind of see her life, just the different phases of her life and what she was thinking in those different phases. And this book really just made me realize a couple things. Number one, life is really long. It's short, obviously, like, oh no, we're all gonna die. But there's a lot of room for different phases, and where you are at a certain point, you're not there forever. And this made me feel very hopeful for me as a writer, because I feel like I have a lot of goals for my life and different things I want to do. And I came to the realization like last year or maybe earlier this year that if I kind of half pursue everything I want to do, I'm not really going to achieve anything. So I kind of just had to sit down and think about what I could do right now. And what I can do right now is write and really dive into my writing and focus on it. But it just, like, I feel bad doing that because I feel like I'm ignoring my other aspirations. But this book just made me realize there's really time for everything. And if I can really dedicate a couple years to writing, I mean, I want to dedicate my whole life to writing, but like right now, if I just focus on writing, that's great. And that's fine. And like, like next year, I'm moving out. I moved back in with my parents after college, but I'm moving out next year, and I'm moving somewhere that's really kind of far away from where I live. But I want to go there because I think it would be a great place for my writing. I just think I could write really well there and just kind of be alone with my writing. And I just want to go for a year. And if I really like it, I can stay. But I'm kind of just planning to go for a year. I was kind of feeling very restless about that decision because I was like, well, like I said, I'm kind of ignoring other things, and I'm moving away from my friends and my family. But then I'm like, but this book, it just made me realize that we have so much time, and it's so cool to do different things and have different seasons of your life. And I'm excited to just take a year and write and be a reclusive little writer. But the other reason that this book has really kind of changed the game for me is I realized how long it takes to write a book. It takes long. I mean, I already knew that, don't worry. But I realized it's fine. Yeah, there's parts of here where she's talking about how hard it is, like she can't get her book to work and she's stressing out about it. And meanwhile, she has a bunch of really successful books published. But at the time she was writing this, of course, she couldn't see that in the future, that was going to happen. But it just made me feel better about, because she was working other jobs in this book too. She wasn't just writing. And it just made me feel better about, because I work multiple jobs. Yeah, so my progress is slow on my writing. And I'm not too down on myself about it, because I really try to squeeze in writing as much as I can, but it just feels like I'm falling behind, especially with AuthorTube, I think. I love AuthorTube, and I'm so glad to be here, everybody, truly. But I came to AuthorTube for more the community aspect, and one thing that I'm realizing with making videos is that I feel like the slight urge to be really, really productive. I don't really do word counts, but I feel like that's such a big thing in AuthorTube, like, oh, I wrote 10,000 words this week, and that's great. It's truly like, yes, girl, you did that. But I can't do that. And just the way that I write, I'm really focused on making something perfect before I move on, or really finding the right tone or finding the right line of dialogue and things like that. I'm not saying the fast girls aren't doing that. The way, like, I'm slow. You know, Sheila said it's okay to be slow, and basically the moral is the book will get done. The slow and steady pace, like, the book will get done. I just feel so, this just made me realize I can slow down. I can just focus on just getting better as a writer, and just really focusing on making every scene and every line as good as I can get it. And eventually I'll have a finished product, and then I'll be famous. But yeah, I don't know if that was coherent, if I fully captured why this book, I feel like, actually has changed my perspective in a kind of long-term way. But it's not a race. It's not a race.
It's really dark. Come to the light.
Welcome to the community pool.
Bonnie, how we feeling?
I'm feeling fantastic. Fantastic.
Do you want to say hi to my AuthorTube?
Hello, AuthorTube. I'm the sister of the girl you've been watching. And yes, I'm behind.
She's 3 videos behind.
I still support my sister and her dreams.
Hey guys, so I made my decision. Everyone, let me tell you about it. I was writing this scene. It's a romantic scene. It's kind of, in my mind, the first real romantic interaction between them. But it's great. The beginning of it is great. I love the concept of it, just the situation of it, how they find themselves together alone. It's very good. So I love it. It's great. But I'm just having a little trouble because of the way I'm writing this, just kind of all over the place. I'm having trouble knowing what came before, and so I'm having trouble knowing how to make this satisfying. And then I also don't know exactly what's coming after, so pacing wise, I don't know. Basically, I think I have discovered that I am not a raw discovery writer. I can't raw dog a book, is what I'm trying to say here. I think it would be best, at this point, for the past, I would say week and a half, I've been kind of just circulating around the same scenes over and over, and like, I'll go to one and kind of try to polish it, and then I'll go to a different one and work on it, whatever. But I haven't really been able to come up with new stuff without stopping and outlining. And so because of that, I think I'm going to, in the next couple of days, wrap up my work on Grace, just for now. Like, I feel like I have a really solid start, but if I wanted to really draft it, I would have to first outline it, and I don't want to be away from the Shark book for that long. So this means I'm returning to the Florida Keys, everybody. I think I'm officially going to go back and reread the first draft of the Shark book. I love these people. These characters, oh my god. I'm just so excited. I feel like I have such a grasp on myself as a writer now and the kind of stories I like, and I'm just gonna get in there. It might be a lot of work. It might be, I might read some things and cringe and be like, oh my God, what have I done? But I know I can fix it. I think that's the plan. In November, that is what I will be working on in my vlogs, in my November vlogs. 90 hours of the shark book, everybody. But when I finished up the shark book in September, I left myself some notes of things that I wanted to kind of do to prepare. And one of the things I wanted to do was just read a couple books that I think are important to be fresh in my mind. So let me show you. This is the main book I want to reread before I get in there. It's called Blue Meridian, The Search for the Great White Shark. You've read it. It's a fan favorite. This is like a nature classic. I talked about it in another video briefly, but it's about these people trying to get footage of a great white shark, which at the time was, it wasn't all over Discovery Channel. It was like hard to do. I loved it because it was, first of all, about sharks, but mostly it was about the diving team and just the dynamics and the different personalities that like swimming with sharks. And it was so interesting, the people and the kind of trust you have to have on a dive team. When I read this was a big inspiration for the shark book. But then I think when I really got into the draft, I lost a little bit of this. The dive dynamics weren't as important. It was more, I was focusing on the relationships outside of diving. I just want to read this to refresh, and yeah, so there's this. And then the Blue Meridian book that I just showed you, that I kind of want to read before I start outlining because I think it might influence the plot. This one I just want to read before I start drafting because this is just a kind of a voice. I like vocal training, The prose in this book, I've talked about it before, the prose in this book is my favorite prose of all time. I think this is so pretty. And I love the details. This book feels like something, and I just want to reread it to get it. I read parts of it all the time for vocal training because I just love it so much. But I want to read the whole thing and just make sure I know my standards before I start drafting. Oh my God. Thank you for watching. I'm so excited to read the shark book. In my next vlog, that's going to be the very beginning of it. It'll be sometime in November, maybe like the first week I will vlog and see if I can stay on track to do my 90-hour goal. I'm in love with you. Mwah.